Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Singh, topping our newscast in a move that was supposed to benefit first responders and save the government money in telecomms bill. Governor Kenneth Mapp announced last week that he might merge the Bureau of Information Technology and the VI Next Generation Network. Lawmakers are not very happy about the idea. News 2's April Knight has that story.
When Governor Mapp mentioned last week that he might merge the Bureau of Information Technology and public telecommunications provider VINGN, Senator Jeanette Millen-Young promptly made it clear that she was against it.
The BIT is an agency that we created by law, by statute. And the VINGN is something that the PFA, the Public Finance Authority, created. So thereby they're two different animals, and so you can't mix and mingle both of them.
The issue falls under Millen-Young's purview. She chairs the Senate's Economic Development Committee, and even though the governor said the merger will benefit first responders, Millen-Young says an executive order to merge the two entities is not the way to go.
I knew that by executive order it could not be done. Unless the law is silent on a particular issue, an executive order cannot trump law.
Millen-Young is not the only senator to voice concerns. Some other lawmakers also called the merger illegal. At the very least, they called for a more transparent process via a legislative vetting and not an executive order by the governor. But beyond the legality of the merger, Senator Millen-Young says she is also concerned about how it would affect business for private telecommunications companies.
I know Innovative Choice, all of those, they provide conferencing, they provide telephone services. So if we are now to do it internally, what happens to the private sector?
No word yet from Government House on the status of the proposed merger. For News 2, I'm April Knight.
And News 2 will keep you updated on any development on the governor's proposed merger. Senator Myron D. Jackson is encouraging young people of our community to enroll in a 40-hour solar energy workshop that's being sponsored by the University of the Virgin Islands. That's from June 8th to the 12th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The fee is $1,700. The 40-hour solar energy workshop will be held at UVI's Center's St. Thomas campus. Mr. Randy Dutton, who is NAB CEP certified and has experience in residential and commercial solar photovoltaic generator designs and solar plants, will be the instructor. Additionally, there will be financial assistance available to qualifying individuals through the Department of Labor. You can call for more information. Nellen Bowery, Director Designee of the Office of Management and Budget, was approved by the Senate Committee on Rules and Judiciary on Friday. Bowery, who was nominated by Governor Kenneth Mapp in January, received nods from all the members of the committee except one, Committee Chairman Kenneth Gittens. The senator explains why.
I certainly have no doubt in my mind that Mr. Bowery is fully skilled, knowledgeable, and capable to run the office. But what concerns me is the fact that his clock to hang up the hat is already ticking. If we are going to be looking for someone to head the agency in another few months, 6 months or so, we might as well just continue looking for that suitable candidate, and maybe Bowery may better serve as a financial advisor.
In crime reports, 8 people have been killed this year in vehicle accidents, 5 of them in the first quarter alone, and 3 weren't wearing seatbelts. The Office of Highway Safety and the Police Department announced Monday they're kicking off the National Click It or Ticket campaign, and that's when officers will be out in greater numbers, making sure seatbelts and car seats are being used. Some surprising numbers were revealed from the department's observation survey. Locally, more men wear seatbelts than women.
Our goal is to cite violators that are not wearing their seatbelts, do not have their kids properly restrained in child passenger seats.
We're encouraging the general public to please take this initiative very, very seriously. Seatbelts do save lives, and we really, in these hard economic times, cannot afford to be paying a seatbelt ticket, which can range from $75 to $500.
On Monday morning, VIPD officers visited the grave site at the Maine Western Cemetery. The VIPD also paid their respect to fallen officers every single year. National Police Week honors police officers who made the ultimate sacrifice to protect their community. The event is in recognition of VIPD Police Week events. Tomorrow there will be an open house at all commands, Zone A, B, C, and D from 12 to 2 p.m. And on Saturday, a law ride-out and sports days coming up at Emil Griffith Ballpark from 12 p.m. until, that's on St. Thomas. One man is dead in crime reports and 4 others wounded after a shooting over the weekend. Police say 26-year-old Blaine Gerard was shot to death on the Christiansted Boardwalk just before 3 Saturday morning. Several other people were shot in what appeared to be a shootout, according to witnesses. The 911 call center received multiple calls for ambulances. When police arrived on the scene, they found the deceased. Officers found the other victims at the hospital, who have now been identified as Anthony White, Tamisha Robach, Alberto Lawrence, and Joshua Hernandez. They're all in their 20s with the exception of Robach, who is 32. On April 1st, 2015, officers responded to the area of Berg's home in reference to shots being fired, as we reported, around 10 p.m. Arriving at the scene, officers observed an overturned vehicle in the area of Building 13. The operator of the vehicle was transported to Schneider Hospital by ambulance, where he was treated for fractures and lacerations to the head. Preliminary investigation revealed that the vehicle was struck by gunshots. On May 15, the operator of the vehicle, now identified as Glenn Freeman, 23, of Liftegata, was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance. The vehicle was processed and numerous amounts of Ziploc baggies which contained marijuana were found inside. Well, in spite of the gloomy weather, about 350 young people and supportive adults still came out in full force on Sunday for the 12th annual Walk Run Against Violence. The event, which aims to raise the community's awareness on the dangers of violence, will also direct the proceeds toward a scholarship fund. There were plenty of categories, but Michael Thompson nabbed the top spot in the overall male category, while Riley Oram won the overall female category. CAHS, Ivana Udorcan, and the U.S. Army also made a showing, winning top schools and top organization respectively. This week begins National EMS Week, and local officials kicked it off with an open house on St. Croix at the Department of Health. This year's theme is EMS Strong, and officials held demonstrations of equipment and life-saving techniques. Emergency services personnel talked to high school students from Central High and Educational Complex about what they do as first responders. They also spoke to the students about careers in the field of emergency services. EMS Week began Saturday and ends Sunday. Events are scheduled every day in both districts. Well, 9 people were killed in a biker gang fight in Waco yesterday. Around 165 people are being charged with engaging in criminal organized activity. And it's a Twin Peaks restaurant. It left 9 and 18 injured were ordered, held in lieu of $1 million bonds Monday, while investigators continue the painstaking process of gathering evidence at the crime scene. By early afternoon, about a third of the suspects had been booked in the county jail. All 170 will be processed into the jail, and although some may later be transferred to other facilities. Affidavits, arrest warrants total more than 500 pages, and officials said at least some, and technically all of those in custody, could be charged with capital murder because of the number of victims. Keeping our eye on the economy, here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, NASDAQ, S&P all up. The Dow 26, NASDAQ 30, S&P 6. Coming up on News 2, a book parade, a celebration of books. St. Croix residents showed up in big numbers to support the annual Relay for Life fundraiser. It's one of American Cancer Society's biggest fundraisers, and participants gave financially, but also give of themselves to help and find a cure. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
Relay for Life participants took their final laps around Education Complex High's track Sunday morning. More than 30 teams had been walking, jogging, and running since Saturday to help fight cancer.
The relay is about the survivors because at the relay we honor our survivors and we remember our loved ones that we've lost to cancer.
It's personal for Ms. Jones. She herself survived cancer, and that's why she volunteers.
The American Cancer Society gave to me when I was in need, and because they gave to me, I felt it was only fitting to come and give back.
Relay for Life kicked off with an opening ceremony and parade. Each team is made up of 15 members who each raise a minimum of $100. Cancer survivors are provided with a special dinner before they take their lap around the track. Relay for Life is the American Cancer Society's biggest fundraiser. Supporters stayed overnight walking for more than 16 hours since cancer never sleeps.
I walk because we have a number of staff members at Pearl Larson who have cancer or who have actually won their fight against cancer. And one of them, she was actually my teacher at the Good Hope School. So when we became co-workers, I decided to help her out and to walk for her.
It's a fight Jordan and Miss Jones want everyone to get involved in. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Now, in addition to the monies each team collected, the American Cancer Society sold luminaries to support the effort. Well, a celebration all about books and reading was held, and many joined in because they say reading is at the core of all learning. Adelita Cancrine Junior High School's 4th annual Cancrine Oral Reading Exchange, or CORE, book parade and contest was held on Friday. Elementary, middle, and high school students were all encouraged to express themselves by creating costumes that represent characters or scenes from books they have read during the school year. The parade route started at Cancrine School and proceeded along Veterans Drive to the Emil Griffith Ballpark. It finished back at the school where judging of the contestants took place. Prizes were awarded in a variety of categories, including poetry, rap, dance, and song. Congrats to all the students. Well, Emancipation Garden will be bustling with activity on Tuesday as VI chefs face off to vie for the title of Best Coal Pot Chef. The free event takes place from noon until 3, where the public judge each chef's cooking skills. The chef with the most donations at the end of the day will be declared victorious. The idea came from an intern with the Historical Trust, according to Trust President Ronald Lockhart. A St. Thomas native, Josel conducted a demonstration making Johnny cakes over a coal pot in front of the Trust Museum in the summer of 2012 on Roosevelt Park just for fun, and the rest became history. Well, it was all hands on deck during the Tourism Week recognition's territory-wide roadside cleanups. Many volunteers came prepared to work with hats, sunscreen, and gloves. They met as early as 7 a.m. and cleaned up until 11 a.m. Organizers say thanks to all who came out to showcase VI Pride. Free t-shirts were provided. Areas cleaned up included on St. Croix, Frederiksted Town, Frederiksted Beachfront, Christiansted and Airport Road, and then on St. Thomas, downtown Charlotte Amalie, Subbase, Airport, Long Bay Road, Smith Bay, Red Hook, Bolongo, and Bovoni. On St. John, work was done in Cruz Bay and Coral Bay. Well, turning our attention to the prices at the pumps, there's been no change in the price of fuel at Hovenza's truck rack since a couple of weeks ago when they dropped the prices. So, gas station retailers are paying $1.99 per gallon for regular gas and $2.25 for premium. The cost for diesel fuel is $3.17 per gallon. Now, all the prices include the 14 cents tax per gallon Hovenza collects for the government. DAPNR has planned some pesticide control workshops, a week-long collaborative effort with the University of Georgia, Georgia Department of Agriculture, Clemson University, National Park Service, and UVI. And here are the dates. May 19th from 9 a.m. to 1 on St. Thomas at UVI's Neil Weiss Education Classroom, and that's located in the West Hall. On St. Croix, it's on May 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at UVI at the theater. All pesticide applicators are encouraged to attend this important workshop where topics including but not limited to pesticide management, label changes, pest management issues and trends, use of pesticide in sensitive areas, and pesticide safety, disposal, and storage all will be discussed. All sessions are free of charge, and to qualify, and you do qualify as an opportunity for recertification. You can call them for more information. Well, heavy to moderate showers brought some wet conditions to St. Thomas Saturday afternoon, more than 2.48 inches of rain, and this was the scene on Main Street. Forecasters say it was not a weather system, just a little moisture that was being carried by trade winds. FEMA had also issued a driving advisory for motorists, warning that heavy rainfall caused flash flooding along the roadways, including the Altona area by Adelita Cancrine, Junior High, Fort Milner, Costules, and Long Bay. Now, this road closure sign was posted, closing off the Brookman Road. And now in March, Governor Ken Mapp signed a contract for the reconstruction of the road that has been plagued with flooding and drainage issues over the past several years. We'll have an update on the road closure at Brookman Road. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.